So I'm doing video instead of live because I'm not sure if outside I'll lose my internet. And Dave is actually watching Mom, so I should be able to do a class. I don't know how long it's going to go yet. I disturbed a couple of anthills sweeping while I was out here, so I think I'm having more faux ants crawling on me than real ants crawling on me. But if I do a couple spastic, it's because I feel like I have ants crawling on me. So we're only going to do a couple moments seated and get right into moving a little bit. So just feel free to pause in a place that feels good for you as I deadhead my plants while I'm sitting here. And just giving yourself a moment, maybe just to close your eyes, settle in, kind of take a moment to pause. And then just let your chin drop in towards your chest, and then just shift over to one shoulder, and then come on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side. And just go a little side to side. I know my neck has been really stiff lately. I know I've been sleeping kind of squished up in a ball, which is good and not sometimes, but giving yourself a moment, if you find a spot that feels like you need to stay and breathe there, to pause. And then when it feels right, let yourself come on through. You hear that sound, that is an airplane going overhead, pulling one of the tall, massive advertisements behind it. And then come on to the center, and then just take a twist one direction. It doesn't matter which one. And then do a twist to the other side. And then we're going to start into some gentle movement just from this kind of seated position. So if it bothers your knees or your shins, you can totally put your bum on the ground and do it that way instead. I just want to get a little bit more space from the earth. So standing on your shins, sweep your arms up. On the exhale, one hand down, one arm up. It really doesn't matter which. And then just circle down and then come on through the other side. And I'll be more specific later. Just at the moment, we're just getting moving. And then climb up and over, up and out of your waist. And then climb up and over one more time through the side body. And this time come through the center, sweep both arms up. Maybe connect your hands if that feels good to let yourself lean back a bit. And then just exhale, sink in. Kind of wiggle yourself back into child's pose. And I'm just moving so I'm more on my mat. And then sweep out. And then here, slide forward like hands and knees. Take a rounding of the spine. And then drop the belly. And sorry, I'm leaving my phone on. Inhale, so if Dave tries to get me, he can get me. Open up because he's hanging with Mom at the moment. One more time, coil up, curl the toes under. Take a down dog moment, press your hips high. And then just inhale forward. Ooh, my feet slip. And then let your hips drop. Press down into your hands or your forearms. Lift the chest, just coming into Cobra. I've been kind of sticking with Cobra lately than Up Dog just because my hands have been bothering me, but whatever you feel. And then let yourself sink in. Press back, hips to heels, child's pose for a moment. Walk your hands off to one side. Again, it doesn't matter which one, just going for the side waist opening. Hello, many ants. Oh, I may get attacked by the ants. And let yourself come on up and over. And then one more time, come on up through the middle. Sweep the arms up to the sky. And then here, just exhale, circle the arms around and down. And just take a gentle back bend. It doesn't have to be anything major. Just lift the heart up. Now, from here, come back into hands and knees. Extend the left leg back and the right arm forward. And just reach for a moment. And then bend the left ankle. Maybe reach back for the foot if it's within reach. And then press the foot to the sky. Now here, and you can use your right hand to help you as much as you need to. Pull the left knee up and into your belly, and then just bring the left foot between your hands. Swing the right foot behind you, so you're coming into Parigasana. It's kind of like a warrior two, that's knee down. Inhale, sweep up, and then come on up and over, side angle. Sorry, I'm just noticing how short my shorts are, but I don't care. Climb up and over, let your right hand come on down. Let your left arm get really wicked long. Now here, take a moment perhaps. You can always keep the foot behind you or swing it more in line. Lift the left leg up. Just take a moment to get even longer. And then maybe left arm forward. If you feel the urge for one more time to reach back to open up the quad, you'll get both legs twice, so it doesn't matter which one you do. And then bring your leg back up. Swing the right foot behind you, just safest for the knees. Come on up, back towards that side angle-ish shape. And then this time come around to the front and just heel toe or move your right foot more behind you. Now, we're gonna pick up, and I'm picking up more because I want this deeper stretch in my right quad. If you want more of the left hip, stay lower. And then just drop your hips, but try to keep your chest high. Oh, hello, Cardinal. So in front of me on the other side of the fence is all my bird feeders, and I have several, well, bird feeders, squirrel feeders, whatever you want to call them, but I get quite an assortment of birds that might come through, and you might see a squirrel walk through, you never know. Now here, we're gonna pull back, lengthen out the left leg. I just realized something I didn't even off 2 days ago, because I had him do a little pickup thing, and I never did it on the other leg. So if you happen to be practicing with me again today, and you did that the other day, just make sure you catch the other leg this time if I forget again. Give it another breath and kind of give the hips a little pull back. So I'm retracting the femur bone back into the hip to lift it up to get the belly. Now from here, let yourself sink forward. Now ground the hands, just slide your left leg back. And you're back on hands and knees. And then let your arms come on up. Cushion your knees if this isn't uncomfortable for you. We're gonna be staying low for a little bit longer. Let the right arm come up and sweep through. My mom says I talk too fast when I'm teaching, and she's probably right because I've been drinking Diet Coke. And then inhale, come on up, don't judge. One more time, come on up and over through your sideways. Now here, just let yourself take a pause, hands can come to low back. Lift the heart. And then as you come forward, again, if you're missing chaturanga, feel free. I'm not missing it these days. Coming into either puppy pose or you can't do puppy pose with a baseball hat on properly, but puppy pose, then slide forward, cobra or forearm cobra. And either way, I'm really squeezing through my glutes and my legs. I like having my legs further apart these days just because my butt's a little bit more bodacious. So if you can get your legs together, go ahead. I can't. And then come on down, and then I'm gonna push back, letting yourself take a moment, coming into child's pose, or if you want, down dog, just giving yourself a moment to kind of lengthen out the body. And then this time when you shift back to hands and knees, right leg back, left arm forward. And at first, just feeling that lift through your belly, and then you can reach back for the right ankle with your left hand. Press the foot to the sky if that feels right. So it's a chance to open your quad and your shoulder. And then you can help your foot with your hand as much as you need to. Just coil up and just swing the right leg forward. And then from here, swing the left foot behind you. Inhale, so it kind of looks like that knee down warrior two. Climb up and over, left hand can come down. It might stop at your hip. And then come on up and over to that side angle shape. Now this time when you come all the way down, you might bring your hand all the way to the earth. It might be more comfortable to shift your foot so it's in line with your knee. Right arm is long. Maybe floating the right leg. Perhaps reaching back for your right foot, opening up the quad a little bit more. And then when you feel ready, release the right foot down. Inhale your body up. Again, angle the toes to face the front, and then swing your left foot behind you. And then just pull back, take a moment to lengthen your right leg. Now here, again, if you want that little pull back, and then lift the foot, and sinking in. And so if you don't pull back first, you're using your quad. If you pull back first, and then lift, it'll get more into your belly. And then sink in. And again, if you want more of the hip, go a little lower. I'm looking for the quadricep stretch and hip flexor stretch, so I'm staying up a little higher. And you can kind of pulse in and out. Ooh, ants. I can't tell what are real ants and what are just me, pseudo ant. Open the heart. Again, the higher you lift your chest, the lower you sink your hips. The more for the quadricep and the hip flexor, the more you let your belly kind of sink in. A little bit more subtle if you need it. And then from here, just gonna let yourself pull back. Slide that right foot back so you're back into the hands and knee shape. Take a couple of rounds of cat and cow, just hollowing out. Maybe a little roll of the hips. Now we're gonna end up coming to standing, but not necessarily the way we typically do, or just generally in class. I'm gonna curl the toes under, kind of get like a little crouch position. And then maybe give a baby hop. And then a little crouch position, baby hop. Tap the toes. And then just one more time, little hop. And then just let your feet land. And then just inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reaching to one side. Ooh, breeze came through, and then the other. And then just let your hands come down and in towards the heart. So here we're just going to come into movement, and my intention is for it to be a little bit more creative, a little bit more fluid movement. So feel free if you'd rather stay still and something to stay. And hi, baby bird. And letting yourself just kind of see what feels right for you this morning. So here, stepping towards the top of the mat as you need, draw the arms up to the sky. On the exhale, press down, pull the right knee up, and then sink in. Sorry, I can't see my head. Press down, don't really need to. Take the left leg up, sink in, right leg up, and then maybe cross it over. If you'd rather come into tree, that totally works too. Sink in the hips back. I've honestly been having a lot of discomfort in this hip lately, so I've been doing this more than not to try to help create some space in it. So feel free to do a little less if it's not working for you today. And then inhale, coil up. For the sake of balance, sink in. Pull the left knee up. Cross the left ankle over your right thigh. Sink back. Heart forward. Little pause. And then here, coil the left knee into your belly. Reach it back to a lunge. Now I'm staying up on the ball of the foot, but you can totally come down to your shin if you'd like to. Sink down and then coil up. Now if you feel like you have enough balance to move your arms while you're going through this, you're welcome to. I honestly just want to give my shoulders a break, so I'm keeping my hands on my thigh. Now sink it a little bit lower, heart up a little bit higher. Now when you feel ready, let the left arm come up. Now the shin down will help this be more balanced. If you feel really wobbly, take a little twist. I'm smiling because I have a family of about 30 chickadees who have found my bird feeder, and they make me smile because they're about half of them are behind the camera right now. You might hear them. Inhale, come on up. Now lower down the left shin. Swing the left foot behind you. Draw up, left hand to the ground or to a block, and then floating the right leg. Again, you might reach back for the right foot, totally your choice. Now extend the right leg, just bring it on back down. Start to pivot over the right foot, swing your left leg behind you. I'm going slow. Lift your left knee up, shift up and over, just coming into a little side lunge, and then shift over your left foot, coming into warrior one. So the only difference here is the ball of the foot and the heel are kind of reaching towards the mat. Arms can reach high. Now let your arms press behind you as the heart comes forward. Yogi's choice, stay here or shift up on the ball of the foot, and then just start to shift forward, coming into warrior three. Your arms can shoot through if you're feeling the urge. Now this is more work to the core a little bit too. Hands come to heart for balance, pull the right knee into your belly, cross the right ankle over your left thigh, and then maybe sink in. Give it a breath. Now inhale, knee back to your belly. Support it if it bothers your back. Reach your toes back. Shift up and over, and then just turning so toes are facing the long edge of your mat. Just take a wide straddle, forward fold, adjusting as necessary, and you might bend one knee and then the other. You might prefer to keep your heart high. Just taking a second to let yourself feel more symmetrical. And then here, as you inhale, take a halfway lift. Look over your right shoulder, and then come around to the front of the mat. Lower down your left shin just for the stake of stability. Stake of stability. That's not a word. Sake of stability. Wiggle your right foot like you're coming to half pigeon, but you're not quite. I'm going to use blocks just because it helps my hands, but you could do this on the ground too. Knee down makes this purely stretchy, meaning left knee down. Left knee up gives it a little bit more zip. Left knee up and then trying to pick up your right foot gets even more into your core. So think of it like a little pigeon push-up. Learned this from Christine Raffo back in the day. Climb up. One more time. Now, if you'd like, either let yourself lower down into half pigeon, or if lizard, with that low lunge, is more in your kind of where you want to be at the moment, go for it. I'm really craving this shape, which is just like the standing shape. Now, I'm not going to put my head down for myself because I want to stay a little bit more active, so I'm lifting the heart and then maybe bowing forward, lifting the heart, bowing forward. Lifting the heart one more time. There's so many birds in my yard. Makes me happy. Now here, sink forward a little bit. Or rock towards the right. Now if you're in lizard, you can just let your hip come all the way down. Gonna swing that left leg around. And then coming into double pigeon or maybe a cross-legged seat. Now, for me, this has been a really necessary pose lately because my hips are just like, oh, unbelievable. But cross-legged seat, cow face pose, whatever feels right for you. Stay tall or maybe have a bit of a shift forward. I'm going to add a little twist over my foot and kind of pressing down but rising up, keeping my ribs nice and long. And then again, just for the sake of balance, giving a pause to the other side. Zip heading. Now, my intention with getting up is actually going to be a standing split with the left leg on the ground, the right leg in the air. If you're not feeling that, you could unwind, you could roll back through a push-up, anything that feels right for you. Or take the left foot down to the mat. Use your hands so you can safely transition forward however you need. And then just start to reach the right leg up to the sky. You might have your chest high, it can be low. It's really a matter of what feels good for you. Now, take the right ankle, cross it in front of your left. It's going to give you a little deeper stretch in the back hamstring. You can keep both hands grounded, or if you want a little extra juice, left hand down, right hand up. Try not to shift your gaze too quick or it'll make you tip over. And then sink in. If you like my earrings, my friend Alyssa Mazezo made them. Oh, putting it up. And then kind of now pause here for a moment. Take the left leg up to the sky. Little standing split. Her company name is Mermaid in the Moonlight. If you want a link, just let me know. And then let your left ankle cross in front of your right. And just taking a second to sink in. If you want to add the twist, left arm up. Sink in. Right arm up. Sink in. And then just take a moment, unwind your feet. And then just pause. Gonna come all the way up to standing. And then just exhale, hands into the heart. Shorts adjustment. Okay. Now, gonna start back in chair pose. Bend the knees, draw the arms up. This time take the left ankle up first, crossing the left ankle over the right thigh. So again, you could shift back more towards this figure four. Maybe this time you want to play with more of a tree. You could do a standing half lotus. I know that's not a good choice for my knees right now, but you certainly could. Any other variation. You might even just keep your left leg floated and kind of see how that feels for a moment. And then eventually, left leg comes down. Little chair if you'd like, just to get a little bounce, and then right knee comes up. Maybe ankle over your thigh, stay tall or whatever. Maybe coming into tree. Just be mindful if you end up right on your knee, you probably want to give it a little shift. Climb up. Now this time the right foot's going to be shooting back, so pull the knee into your belly. Help it however you need to. There might be a warrior three, half a pause, and then toes come down. I'm up on the ball of the back foot. Again, I want this deeper stretch. You can totally lower your knee if you wanted to. Inhale, reach high. You might take a moment to let your left hand come down. I'm sorry, the birds are totally distracting me. There's like 15 of them in my rose bush right now, and they're just the cutest. Then as you come on tall, you might just take a moment just to pause, letting yourself sink in. You can have a little deeper bend in that back knee if that feels good for you. Soften along your jaw. Then here, inhale, take a big breath up. Exhale, let your hands come on down. Lower down the right shin, spin the foot behind you, and then come on up into that Parigasana shape. Your right hand can come down or come to your waist. Maybe you feel the urge to come back up for a moment. This time when you come on down, take a pause to float the left leg. You might bend the left knee, reach back, give a little pull of the bow. Then as you let your left leg come down, turn the toes to face the front of the mat. Again, just everything is knees in line with toes, just for safety purposes. Climb on up. Then circle the hands down, swing the right foot behind you, lift it up, and then just shift side to side for a moment. My face is very close to my fire pit, so I know you can't see it, but It's literally right there. Now, as you come over your right leg, your back leg, we're shifting into warrior one. So spin your back heel flat, and if you'd rather do a lunge, totally works. Draw the arms up. Now let your arms come on back, starting to shift forward. So you're shifting towards warrior three. Now you could keep the back leg down if you wanted to, or start to come forward. We're going to pull on up, crossing the left ankle in front of the right thigh. Just taking a moment in that little seat. And draw up. Try to find that moment in warrior three, even if it's just for a second. And then toes down, feet pivot. You might turn the heels out a little. You don't have to over-exaggerate it. Now, I'm just being careful because the fire pit's here, so I might do a little swerve and dive, but coming down, letting your head hang in. You can lift and lower. Again, I'm just being careful because I know the fire pit's there. I don't want to hit my head. I didn't turn the fountain on today because I listened to a couple minutes of the other class. I realized how much you could hear the water running, so I wanted you to be able to hear me okay. Now here, just snake a peek over your left shoulder, the front shoulder, coming around to the front, lowering down the right shin just to reposition your hands if nothing else. Again, I'm using blocks because it's more comfortable on my fingers. So wiggle your foot over like you're coming to pigeon, which we are, and you can do that now if you want. Knee down just makes it so it's just a little stretchy. Knee up gives it a little bit more oomph, and then knee up, pick the foot up, gives more into your belly. So your call. However high or low, we're just doing three, so it's not the end of the world if you don't do it. And then eventually, either lizard or half pigeon if it's better for you. Now, I prefer my foot more in line with my knee because I want to be able to work a little more to stay upright. If you need it a little bit less or a little bit safer for your own body, heel closer to your hip. It doesn't matter if both hips are on the ground, you're just trying to keep your hips even, which is actually harder. Give it another breath or two. You might even give a little bit of a twist towards the left to help. Now all we're going to do from here is we're going to be swinging the right leg forward, so then that way it's in a double pigeon, or again it can be a cross-legged seat. So letting yourself slow, bring the right leg up. You can use your hands to help you. Right ankle over left thigh, or cross-legged, or cow face. And this is my unhappy hip, so I'm going to try to breathe. Oh, hi birdies, you're coming closer. I'm really hoping the squirrel comes through. It's funny because sometimes he walks right by me and he doesn't realize I'm here, and then he runs away. But I feed them. I don't know why they can't figure out I'm the one who fills the bird feeder. Hi birdie. There's three birds. We're looking at me and then a motorcycle went by. Oh well. So anyway, just trying to keep you here longer. So again, getting out of it through standing split. So if you're unsure if it's a safe transition for your knees, unwind your legs, just right leg down, left leg to the sky. But if you want to do it kind of like I'm doing it, let your right foot come forward. I pick up a little with my hips just because I know my knees don't like it anymore. The fun of being 51, taking the left leg up to the sky. Now once again, I'll step back so you can see, cross the left ankle in front of the right. So just getting that little deeper stretch for the hamstring and the back leg. If you feel like you're hyperextending your knees, you might want to soften them a bit. And then take the right leg up, cross it in front of the left. So just getting that balance. And then again, releasing left leg up to the sky. Both feet come on down. And then however you want. Inhale, just come on up tall. And then exhale, hands down. Shorts adjustment. I feel like it's a new pose. Okay, so one more cycle through, and it's going to get a little bit of balance on both legs, a couple other movements. So bend the knees, draw the arms up. Now this time, let the hands come into the heart, pull the right knee to your belly. And you can stand up tall. I'm kind of staying a little lower to use my belly more. Try to float the right leg. You can hold on to it if you feel like you need to. Tap it. Float it. Tap it. Float it. And then lower it down. And then left knee into your belly. Float it. Tap it. Sorry, I looked away. Float it. Float it. Now this time, take it back. Warrior one. Grounding the back heel, drawing the arms up. Now, I could definitely sink deeper into this right knee if I wanted to. I don't want to. You can. Straighten your right leg. arms come back, shifting forward. Now this time, hands coming down, coming into pyramid, and just giving yourself a moment to pause here. Now for me, because I do actually have relatively open hamstrings, regardless of the, well, I've actually done yoga 4 days in a row. That's kind of a big deal right now. But without regular stretching, my hamstrings do actually feel tighter. So just be in a place that feels right for you. Now we're going to add a little twist that I love that Trisha does. So my left hand is staying down. Right hand is going towards my left leg. And then just looking underneath my left arm. You could put your left hand on your right foot. I don't know that I could keep my balance like that right now, so I'm going to stay here. And then come on back. Take a little bend into the right knee just to get the weight out of the hip for a second. Pull back, lengthen the leg again. And now left hand down, right hand to the right hip, or maybe up to the sky. So revolve triangle. Now, just in case you want to bring your block with you, we're going to be doing triangle over the left leg, the back leg, in case you want to take it with you. Warrior two, then triangle. So soften into the right knee a little bit. Inhale up. Spin your feet, spin your feet, spin your feet. Warrior two for a moment. Maybe there's a pause to reverse. And then either go right into triangle, or maybe you take a moment in side angle, which can be kind of nice first. Then come on in. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Right arm can reach. Any variation of arms. I want to smell my lemon balm. Lemon. Give another breath. Then soften the knee back into warrior two. Now here, lengthen the left leg, turn the toes in, turn the heels out, and then sink in towards Goddess, a high malasana. Arms can float, or you can keep them on your thighs or on your legs. Take a little shake out of the head. Any variations that might feel good in the arms to kind of bring activation in, or just awareness. And then exhale, heels out. Forward fold, just sink in. Inhale towards a halfway lift. Take a peek over your right leg. Now here, lower down the left shin. Let the top of your left foot come down to the mat. I need the blocks for this, but you can choose. Now, you can stay just like this and just drop the hips. If you want a little more, try to pick up the back knee and shin and ankle. If you're like, I got this, walk your arms up, and then maybe arms up. Oh, that's terrible. And then let yourself sink in, lower down the back shin. Lengthen your right leg. Now, your call. We've been on this hamstring a couple times, so you might know half split is a good choice. If you want to try to shift towards a full split, ow, toes, letting yourself do what feels right for you. You might notice your body wants to fold forward. Try to stay high. That's your hip flexor. Give it a breath. Now to come out of it, you can totally let yourself just rock and bring your leg back, or if you wish, soften enough into your right leg, you can curl the back toes under, and then float the left leg up to the sky. Now I confess, I'm not jumping a lot these days because I can't really take a chance of doing something bad. But if you want to put your hands down, take a couple little hops, little hop, have fun with it. Or if you're feeling more like me at the moment, just bring both of your feet down. Inhale, reach up to the sky. And then exhale, hands into the heart. So here, bend the right knee. Reach it out. Tap it. Reach it out. Tap it. Reach it out. Tap it. I should have actually done the other leg first, so I'm going to switch just so we're even. But left leg up. Tap. Down. Tap. Down. Tap. And then lower down. So one more time, because this leg's going to step back this time. I goofed. Take the right leg up. Reach it back. Warrior three, perhaps for a moment. And then heel down, warrior one. Again, now you could bend in as deep to your left knee as you're in the mood for. This is where I feel like being. Let your arms come back. You can start to lengthen the left leg. And then just letting your hands come on down. Parsvottanasana, pyramid, runner stretch, lots of names for it. Depending on you, you might want to bring your shin to your nose, chin to shin really. I like to think about heart forward, hips back these days. And again, adding the little Trisha twist. So if you're in the mood, it's right hand stays down, left hand goes towards your right leg, And then just looking up underneath your right arm. You can move your right hand onto your left foot for a little more challenge and balance. I know chances are pretty good I will fall into my fountain if I do that. Then come back to the center. Take a little bend in the knee just to get the weight off the hip for a sec. And then lengthen it again. And then to whatever degree feels right for you, right hand down, left hand to the hip. Maybe you start to open it sky. Just giving yourself some space to open up the front side of the body. Now again, if you want to have your block, keep it in your right hand. Start to come down, soften your left knee, climb up, left toes in, right toes out. Warrior two perhaps for a moment. And then either take a moment to kind of shift back, side angle, this is reverse angle, and then side angle, or go right to triangle if you'd like. So start to lengthen the right leg. I've been enjoying left arm overhead lately, I think just because I want the additional side waist opening, but to the sky, to your low back, whatever you're feeling. Soften your jaw. Hot's making it hot. And then when you're ready to come on out, soften the right knee. Draw yourself up. Right, lengthen the right leg, right toes in, and then toes out, heels in, Malasana. And then I kind of like to add a little movement here, letting yourself squat down. Really think about when you lift though, scissor through your legs, squeeze your glutes, sink in. And then when you feel ready, lengthen the legs, again, turning the toes out slightly, not a ton, just enough that you have balance, and then lowering your head. I did a little bob and weave so I didn't hit the table. Let your head sink in. This is where some of you might decide to go upside down or do something else. And it's just not what I'm feeling these days. I'm just happy that I'm actually moving, so I'm just going to stick with it kind of simple. And then from here, just start to look over your left shoulder. Start to spin around towards the front of the mat. You might want both of your blocks. Come up on the ball of the back foot and lower the right shin. If you want just to pause, pull back. Now here's where we get a little deeper into that hip flexor stretch. So you can stay with the ball of the foot on the mat. That's going to keep it a little more cash. Or let the top of the foot come down. Cash. And then lift your shin. And then if you're like, okay, I don't know if I can honestly go higher on this side, but you could either go higher on your blocks or higher hands to quads. Yeah, I don't think I can go any higher. This is where you could put your hands on your thigh or up to the ceiling or up to the sky. Give it a breath. And then sink in. Pull back, lengthening your left leg. Now half split is perfect. You can come back into pyramid if you wanted to also, or if you're in the mood, shifting forward towards splits. So if the funny thing is, it's not my hamstring, it's not the front leg that's the problem, it's the back leg. That's why that quadricep is really tight. Trying to relax my shoulders and pretend I'm enjoying myself. Now again, the release is through standing split. If you're not feeling it, totally just let yourself unwind the way you think you should, but soften the left knee if you'd like. Curl the back toes under, float the right leg up to the sky. Those of you who like to hop, if you want to play with a couple jumps or maybe coming up onto the tippy toes, totally go for it. Or just bring both of your feet down, and we're actually going to soften the knees and come to a seat. So from here, very simple, subtle core. We're just going to take boat pose. Now you can pick, you can stay casual, you can even keep your hands on the mat. You want to make it a little bit more challenging, maybe try to hold on to the block just to see how you could activate your inner thighs. You could start to lengthen the legs if you're in the mood, maybe dropping them and coming back up. Sink in, drop back up, sink in, maybe arms up, oh boy, open out, and up, open, oh, that's a terrible idea, don't do that, but you could. And then sitting up tall. You can do as much abs as you want. I'm not in the mood today. Bend your right knee out to the side. Now, I've been noticing with this knee lately, it appreciates the block rather than trying to go all the way to the ground. But just know that you could even just keep this leg straight if you needed to. Reach up through your right arm. And then, if it's comfortable, try to reach towards the pinky toe side of your foot. So you're adding like a hint of a twist. Now, I'm adjusting my foot because it is getting my knee a little bit, and I want to keep my foot flexed to help protect my knee. So just giving a little twist. You could float the left arm behind you if you wanted to. Now here, as you come back around, make any adjustments you need. and then fold forward. And just giving yourself a moment to pause. The irony of this knee bothering me is the knee that I busted back a couple years ago now was actually this one. That was always my bad knee. So that's why I wasn't paying attention when this one said, help me, and then I kept going, and then I tore my MCL. Yes, there's something. Oh no, medial femoral, MFL. It's a medial femoral ligament. I know, most people don't know what it is either. But now that my right knee is nice and strong, which this is really my right leg, my left leg's giving me a hard time again. So now here we're going to inhale up. Now this is just a little extra if you're in the mood. You can put your left hand down and you can take the right arm to the sky. If you want, if you bring the right shin down and then lift up, it's more like that Parigasana shape. And then just sinking in. Take your right leg long, left knee bends. Now for me on this side, knee coming down is as much of a problem, but I'm still going to elevate so I don't keep overcompensating on one side and then not on the other, because it just creates more imbalance. So reaching out, and then you can stay tall. You can add a little bit more of the reach back with the right arm. I'm finding in my own body right now, side waist opening and twisting and hip opening is really necessary because I'm a caregiver for my mom, and a lot of the hunched over and kind of bending forward, I need the other direction. So again, the movement I'm teaching is catered to what my body needs right now, I'll be honest. And then come on up. Again, you can let yourself just stay here. You might just simply take the right arm to the sky, or if you want, hey birdie, if you want your bigger side waist opening, whoop, you can lift up. And then coming down. I'm going to turn around so I don't feel like I'm giving the camera too much of a crotch shot. I'm going to do a little bit of a bridge variation. Blocks aren't necessary, but might give you some more support if you like it. I like it at the moment. So lifting your hips, blocks coming underneath your sacrum, and it's just kind of a nice way to ground down. But then if you'd like, we're going to add lifting the left leg up to the sky, crossing the ankle, bringing it through, and then draw your knees in towards your chest. I'm still saying mirror image, but I'm realizing because I'm facing away from you, it's my right leg, and it might be your right leg too, but just know you're doing one leg, it doesn't matter. And then you can bring foot to the floor, leg to the sky, and then just switch them. So take the other leg up to the sky, cross it over your thigh. You can keep the legs on the ground, that's going to help stretch the front of your body more, or you might hug in, that's going to give your hip a little. Try to keep the foot that's crossed over flexed, that's going to help keep it in a projected position. And then come down, leg to sky. And then both feet down. Now either stay there or maybe let your legs go long. I kind of like letting the legs go long to stretch the hip flexor, just opening up the front side of the body a little bit more. Then here, if you want a simple inversion, just take your legs up to the sky, just with your hips on the block or maybe even hips on the ground. If you practice anything else, headstand, shoulder stand, feel free. Not my thing at the moment. Softening the jaw. It's ironic because I think of all the years I totally, absolutely kicked my own ass on my mat, and probably kicked other people's ass a little bit too. And now, like, even simple movements feel relatively challenging to me. So just embrace whatever your practice is at the moment is what it's supposed to be. Don't worry about what you see anyone else doing. And then nice and easy, you can lower your legs down. This would be a nice time to pause and take Shavasana, just letting yourself have a moment to be still. So feel free to stay in Shavasana and rest if you'd like. I'm actually going to end class with a joke from my friend Gina, who teaches yoga on the beach 7 days a week, 8 a.m. if you ever want to come join her class. But so she said this one yesterday and it made me laugh. So what kind of shoes are a frog's favorite? Anyone? Open-toed. Actually, my mom had a good answer too, because I've been trying to stump her because she's been figuring them all out. And I asked Mom the same question, and she said Crocs, which I'm guessing Crocs would be a frog's least favorite shoes, just in case. But I hope you all have a wonderful day. Namaste at home.